Hi there, my name is Amber George and I'm here with my lovely model Kayla, and we're here to show you a new tool by Davines called Flamboyage. Now, when I was first introduced to Flamboyage, I have to admit I was extremely excited because in my opinion this is one of the most innovative tools that we've seen in a very long time. I think it reflects back to when the foil was first invented. Moving from the cap into the foil was revolutionary, and that's what I think about this particular new tool. What makes it unique is it's sticky. So from a creative hair color standpoint, this is so revolutionary and it opens up all kinds of doors. So when I found out about the Flamboyage competition, I got really excited because I had already been thinking about a technique that I could use and was already being inspired by some artists. And considering that this is a competition to take me to Paris, it seems very appropriate to share this technique with you. I built it around the Impressionist painters and their technique, because now that I can stick hair to this, it means that I have control over where I put it. So I'm going to show you the technique that I created inspired by the Impressionists. Okay, so we went ahead and prepped her base using pre-lightener, and then I toned it with 822 and MVIO, and we're going to go back in and we're going to do the creative technique. And I'm working with the MVIO mixed with the MNV. I'm also using MNV straight and MBLU straight as well, and some yellow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first slice horizontally, and I'm going to place the Flamboyage underneath and stick it down. I'm going to take a second sheet of Flamboyage and I'm going to lay it right over top of this one. Now you want to be careful not to close them together because you'll never get them apart. And then I'm just going to spread them apart. Now, one of the things with the Impressionists is they always had very blurred kind of lines with their technique. There was distinct colors, but they definitely blurred together. So because we're now able to separate the hair and there isn't a major line of demarcation anywhere, it's going to allow the hair to fall over top of itself and give that kind of blurred feeling of the technique. So in the technique the Impressionists use, they often use just short, quick brush strokes. So that's how I'm going to work today as well. So I'm going to take the blue and I'm just going to do some quick brush strokes. And in order to create interest and change as far as light, reflection, or shadowing, they often just place colors next to each other and allow the natural way that our eye sees color to blur the lines. So I'm going to do the same thing. And the way that we understand hair to lay and move, it's going to give itself a natural blend as well, which I think is going to be really lovely. So now what we have here is just little patches of color. And once this lays over top of it, it's just going to blend with the other colors underneath it and give a really beautiful effect. Now, the other really interesting thing about the Flamboyage is that it is see-through, so I'm able to see my colors as they're processing. And because it's kind of sticky and it's kind of got this firm base, unlike a foil which, you know, will bend, I'm able to now take this and roll it, which saves the pattern that I've created from blending together. And I just take a clip and clip it. Alright, so now I'm on my next section and I did the exact same thing. I didn't leave any sections out so far. I'm just trying to create a really solid base of color underneath. because this hair is all going to sit underneath in her haircut. So I'm just trying to give it a really strong depth, and then I'm going to start to lighten up on it. Now when the Impressionists were first creating the technique, it was very controversial, and because they were doing things that normally weren't done in painting, and so it was breaking boundaries, so to speak. Things like they were now painting using wet on wet, so that would allow the colors to blur together easily. And they were using techniques that weren't techniques, they weren't technical, so it wasn't seen as the art world as being an art form. And I kind of feel like that's what's going on with these Flamboyage. Like, this is not technical per se, it's very artistic and creative, which is why I think I love it. Here's my second section done. I've completely covered this panel of hair, but on this panel of hair, I've just made my creative choices of placement, and I've left some of her natural hair exposed. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it up. One of the main brush techniques that they used in the Impressionist paintings is they used really short brush strokes, but they also used a technique called impasto, which is using very thick layers of paint to create texture, and it kind of gave a more blended line to the brush stroke. So that's what I've adopted here in this technique as well, is I'm just kind of really making sure that I'm making something visually pleasing, but at the same time not trying to be too perfect with it. And I think that is what is going to make this technique really stand out. And they used everything from brushes through to spatulas, so I'm also choosing to do that in this technique as well. So now that I'm nearing the top, I don't want to keep doing the same exact placement technique, because I do want it to start to soften out as we get to the top. So now I'm going to coming on my section from the top, laying it over top of the hair, and leaving out some of her natural. That's going to help to create a diffusion in the color that I've placed underneath. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the other side, and just for creative decision making, I'm not going to do the exact same technique over here. I just want to have a little bit of a familiarity of the color on this side. So again, just using that same general kind of brush stroke. Okay, so there we've completed the technique. So now we're just gonna let her process, and we'll take her back to the sink and rinse her out. The beautiful thing about the Flamboyage is it's very easy to rinse out. And so techniques like this, you don't have to concern yourself too much with bleeding of your colors and that kind of thing. As soon as you hit the Flamboyage with the water, the glue releases and the color goes kind of with it. So it's wonderful. So we're gonna process her and we'll be back. So here we are with our beautiful model Kayla and our finished result. And as you can see, there's a nice blend here. I think this is extremely street wearable as well. And this color will shift and change as we play with it. And Kayla actually has a natural wave, so I think this is gonna look super rad when she wears it with its natural texture.
and I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my Flamboyage experience. I absolutely loved it. I get my hair done regularly, and it's very important to me that my hair is more on the edgy side. I often leave my hairstyle up to my stylist and work with my stylist to create a look. So I think Flamboyage is absolutely perfect for me. I really love how it gives the stylist more artistic flair and more artistic leverage over the hair, so they're able to do a lot more stuff with it. As for the whole process, it was very enjoyable, and Flamboyage is a process that I will definitely be having done to my hair again.
And there we have it. That was my Impressionist hair color. Imagine Impressionist painting on a head. I really want to thank the team at Davines, Angelo and Eduardo, for dreaming this up. The minute that I saw it, it brought a flood of inspiration and creativity, and it opened up doors for me that I really didn't know could even exist. I've been doing hair for 15 years and felt like I put a foil in as many ways as you possibly can, and this is just amping up what we do as a craft and an art form to another level, and I can't wait to continue using this product and pushing it to whatever boundaries it has, and yeah, just going with it. And the amazing thing I think about Flamboyage is that it creates the most natural looking hair color. You know, studying children's hair and seeing how the sunlight naturally lightens it, and never could you get that with a foil. With, you know, we tried and we've done similar things, but nothing like what Flamboyage is capable of doing and has done, and so that is beautiful unto itself. And then you add the other element that allows us to do things like create graffiti on the hair, or create Matisse inspired hair color. Like, what? Blowing my mind. And the very first time I saw Flamboyage, I was like, Flamboyage, what is this? Oh yeah. And then I saw it and I knew that this was the next best thing. And I really cannot thank you enough for developing it and allowing us to just explore our art form even further. So on that note, I just want to thank you for watching. Thank you for doing what you do. And I really hope that you liked what I did enough, because I would really love to go to Paris and attend the Worldwide Hair Tour, because it just inspires me so much to see Angelo and Eduardo and the team do what they do. And I just know that it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Thank you. My name is Amber George. I'm at vervehairlounge in North Vancouver, British Columbia, and thank you very much.